So my buddy Aiden is having a competition, a challenge over on his web page, which I'll try to link below, but he has a channel, Night Owl, and I am going to make Valentine's themed owls, which, all right, to be fair, they're not going to have hearts all over them. They're not going to be Valentine's-y, but I am making these to sell at a Valentine's craft show, and the idea is I wanted to make something that women would buy for men because they always have a hard time buying gifts for men. I am going to make one thing for the ladies, and I'm going to make 3 different owl-themed things for Valentine's Day, so hopefully this counts as my entry. This is what I'm doing, Aiden. The first one I'm going to do is a variation I've seen woodworkers do. It's going to be a super simple implied owl. It's basically eyes and a beak, and that's it. I'm going to make it out of a 4x4 hemlock, and let's just see how this goes, because I can do this pretty quickly. I think I could put like a nice burn or a stain on it, and I bet I could get about 25 for it, and I think I'll be able to produce this really quickly. To knock down the beak area, I'm going to be using the Fordham. This is my heavy duty, and that'll be the Extreme Flame Burr 1/4 inch. That'll, because you know, this is building wood. It's hemlock, but it's tough. So I'm going to strip the corner off right here into like a beak shape, and that'll help. And then with the eyes, I'm going to go back and I'm going to change the Fordham out to use this puppy. This Extreme Flame Burr cuts all 1/4. And I'm just going to make eye hollows with this. I'm just going to draw them on and circle them out. So what I'll probably do is I'm going to use a stencil. And I'll put this down, and that'll be the eye. And I'll use a stencil over there and use the eye, and then I'll use the rounding bit and just keep going in circles until it's nice and round. Alright, so here we go. Here's how it came out. I think it needs a little more. It needs some pupils, I think. But other than that, I'm going with a super minimalist look. And this will be a low-cost candlestick. To put pupils in, I'm going to be using the Mampa eye cutter right there. I can link that below, but it creates a lot of smoke. So I'm going to sand now with this. It's a bunch of pieces of sanding paper all pinned together with a mandrel. And I'm using an RTX, set it to low. Here we go. So I sanded it so it's smooth to touch. Someone like this is going to want a minimalist look, and they want to know it's out of basically a 4x4. So I'm not going to sand away this or burn it away. All I did was remove the splinters so people can pick it up without hurting themselves. I will burn the candlestick out and a little of the top maybe, but that's it. Like I said, this is for someone that's into minimalist stuff. Like, it's an implied owl. It's really hard for me to fight my my inner self here, because I like want to carve in a beak and I want to make it all awesome and just do like a huge owl face on it, and I'm like, no, it's a minimalist, just leave it alone. So If it doesn't sell, it might wind back up here getting an awesome makeover. But there are some people out there that really just want a simple look, and they're going to see this and go, oh, I love it. I'm using the creme brulee torches. They're kind of the easiest thing to do to burn stuff in here. I'll link those. I'll link all the things I mentioned below my Amazon affiliate links. So I appreciate you using those. It does keep everything running because if you haven't figured it out, YouTube doesn't pay nothing for us. So I rely a lot on the Amazon links. I appreciate when you shop through them. Thank you. So I'm going to put a little bit of black on the top here just to protect the candle. And I'll flip it over and put a little black on the bottom. And I'll sign it. What the heck. But that's it. I'll sign it with this. This is a tile cutter. That'll be linked below. But this is what I usually use for my signature. It's just easier to control. Also, this is my helmet I use. It keeps the sawdust from entering my lungs, and it blows air in so it doesn't fog up. So this will probably end up being $20 to $25 because it is a large piece, significant. And I'm not counting the time it took for me to cut the boards and put the hole in and all that stuff. So I'm at about $1 a minute. The whole thing probably took me 20 to 25 minutes complete with sanding and burning. I could probably get it down as little as 15. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you like this guy. I think he's kind of cool. I'm going to use this piece of pine to do a little owl guy. So I'll put kind of like a larger version of my minimalist owl, but I want to put a lot more detail into this. I need the practice. I need to work on owls. Alright, so I'm going to put the owl on the point. And this is the owl that Jordy Johnson over at Carve Infusion taught me how to do. So it's kind of like a standard owl. The reason they're turned sideways is because the wing feathers are a lot more interesting than straight on, I think. So that's kind of the reason you'll see this pose a lot. I'm going to be using an Extreme Flame Burr from Kutzall, and this is a 1/4 inch. You can find that. Also, that is what I'm using right now is the Wind Rotary tool. I just started using it. I like it. It's actually pretty good. All right, here we go. So I decided to make him more like a snow owl. I always do the other kinds of owls, the barred owl. I thought it was fun to just change it up. So what I'm going to do is sand all this down, and I think I'm just going to stain this one. I did use the wood burner. I'll link that in the description, this guy. This is a good wood burner for the price, and I mainly use the tile cutter to cut this in, and the edge of this guy, the eye cutter. This is the small version. I did the eyes, and then I used it to do the feathering. Alright, I think he kind of came out cute. I got to smooth him out a little, but... So I got 2 owls done that are candlesticks, and I had to tap out because it got too cold. Now, I'm going to sponsor this video, unofficially sponsor, with the electric socks I got. My girlfriend gave me them for Valentine's Day because the worst part about sitting and working in the cold is my toes freeze out after a few hours, and I just have to come in. They hurt so much. So she got electric socks, which I hadn't used in about 20 years. I used to have the big ones that would take the D batteries and last like, I don't know, 30 minutes. And now they've, evolved where they last a few hours. And they have made it so much better to carve out here. If I can just keep my toes warm, I'm all right. So I will link those in the description because, man, they've been a whole game changer if you got to work out in the cold. So for the next owl themed thing I'm doing for Valentine's Day is, some of you guys saw the wood spirit I did that had the bottle opener in the mouth. I think I'm going to do an owl bottle opener board. So I'm going to make like a board. I'll cut this down. So this is 4 feet and it is hemlock. I'll cut this into 16-inch. I'll measure it out so I can have 3 equal boards out of this. And what I will do is I will put a bottle cap thing on the top, a catcher on the bottom, and this is thick enough that I can carve an owl sitting in here. So I'll probably make it look kind of like a fake log and with a little owl in it, and that'll be my third owl project. So let's see if this actually comes out. By the way, this is how the other two came out. I brought it in and my girlfriend said, you just leave it like it is. So I'm not going to stain it. It does look kind of like a snow owl, so I dig it. I just burnt the sides a little more to make it darker, so he pops a little better. And then you saw the minimalist, what they call these, have you guys seen the beige moms, where they paint everything in their house beige and they like take all the color and joy out of their house? They call them sad beige moms. So this is what I call my sad beige owl. This is the minimalist country owl. So I'm going to keep rolling on this. Here's what I'm thinking of laying out. I've got kind of an antique brass looking one of these things and a black catch. They're supposed to be 7 inches apart, but this is about 9. But it looks weird if I drop it down too much. Like if I bring this up and drop that, it's not leaving me a lot of room here. Also, they don't match. Like this one is brass and this is black. I don't know how big of a deal it is. Like men don't really care about that, but the women are probably buying it for the men. Might have to spray paint that black. I'm not really sure. Will it matter? Actually, I like the brass a lot better. I wish I had the painting skills to make it match. I've been watching a bunch of crafting ladies on YouTube that could probably do this in their sleep. I wish I knew how to do it. There is my spectacular artwork. Y'all can judge and be jealous of my drawing skills. I made the bird a little fatter than normal. I like him. I guess I need to shave down the sides of this, make it look more like a log. If I was smart, I should just chainsaw this whole corners off to round it. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Break it out for just a second. So my jaw horse is under all that. And once I actually got this outside, I thought I could put it in between the slats here and cut it, but it was way too dangerous and it jumped around. So it was a bad idea. I stopped because I don't play with chainsaw safety, so I'm gonna have to do this the hard way. We'll use the Fordham. Fordham will rip that stuff off the edges pretty fast. Just gonna make a ton of sawdust I didn't want in the shop, but one of these days I'm gonna have more than just this poor vacuum. And what I actually do, if you guys are running a vacuum, because you know the dust collection is really expensive, I roll vacuum bags. So the vacuum bags make this, it does fill up pretty fast within a few days of heavy carving, but man, it is so much nicer just to be able to toss that thing out and it doesn't destroy your shop vac. I don't have to clean it out. They do have those bucket collectors that maybe one day I'll get. I'm just kind of in tight quarters here. I don't know if I have room for it. So the mailman just showed up, and it's funny because he'll actually know I'm out in the shed and will sometimes drop stuff off out here. I got another Goaxi, which is this guy up here. This was the very first one I ever used. And I only got this because it does rock at high speed. It's less expensive than the Win. It's faster, I think, than the Win, but not as powerful. And so normally they're $40, but they have a little redeem coupon that was 40% off. So this thing was like 25 bucks with all this. So if you guys are looking to just get into carving and you don't want to spend much, look, it comes with a flex shaft for 25 bucks. I mean, come on. And it comes with a little router thing, a bunch of burrs. Like, I can't even buy the burrs for this. So I'm excited. I'm hoping this thing works. And what I'm going to do is also, because I bought my old one 6 years ago and I lost all this stuff, I am going to try to see if this thing has brushes. And if you don't know what a brush is, it is these things. They're little graphite squares on springs, and they're important to make your motor work. Now my Goaxi died for no reason. I mean, I have used it for years, but I'm thinking it might be the brush. So I'm going to change the brush out and see if I do, then I'm basically got two of these things for one price, just bringing it back to life. I could not find just the brushes for sale by themselves, but the kit was such a good deal. So I'll link this if you guys are interested. It's a great starter kit for dirt cheap, like dirt cheap. So I opened it up, and this is the old one. You can see that there's a lot of this left. So I don't think it needs a new brush. I cleaned it out. It was so full of sawdust. Maybe that was a problem, that it got contaminated. I'm going to run the vacuum and suck up any sawdust in there and put it back in and see if it fixes it. I think I might be onto something, because I cleaned this all out and vacuumed it and tightened it down. And sometimes if this little thing, this cap, starts to come loose, it loses contact. The brush doesn't grind on the motor there. The little graphite piece is supposed to push down, right? And if the spring gets messed up or this cap isn't tight enough, sometimes it doesn't happen. But check it out. Working. Now, will it continue to work when I start using it? We will find out. But this is a good sign. Maybe I rescued this other one by just cleaning it up. But, you know, now I got two. Because you'll see I've got a few different ones out, and these are ones I've collected over the years. Whenever there's like a Black Friday sale or something really, really cheap on eBay, I'll just pick it up. And I just burn these ones out. Like, these are $20, $30 rotaries. So if you go through them in a year or two, whatever. Now this one's a little more expensive, which is, by the way, if you've been wanting a Dremel, a good one that is battery powered, because I like to carve outside, and a lot of times I don't have power, so everything I have is battery powered when I carve. This is a really good one. It goes up to 30,000 RPMs. This is the old model, and you can see the difference in the size of the motor. The old models, I would skip on this. It's not a very good Dremel. I see why they redid it. This thing is normally $115. It is on sale right now, at least as of yesterday, for 85 bucks. So I'll link that too. If you want to pick one up, that's a pretty darn good sale for a real Dremel. The battery alone is $69. So the battery's $70 basically, and for $15 more you get the whole Dremel kit. Doesn't make any sense to buy a battery. It's like, why not just buy another Dremel? Anyway, I'll link both of those, the Goaxi, and they both are on sale right now. I don't know why. I think after January, sellers are just kind of desperate to get some traffic, and you get some smoking deals in January if you have any shopping to do. So I use the 1/4 inch extreme flame burr to make quick work of this. It does throw a lot of dust, like I can't even tell if you can see my jacket. It's just ridiculous. But it did work pretty good. I decided to round it, and hopefully it'll give a look like when I finish, I'll round it a little more and make it look kind of like a log. I use this to work into the sides to cut it out faster. I want this to be nice and deep so it looks like it's a big hole. Alright, but that did the job. I'm now going to switch over to probably I don't know if I'm going to go with the small flame burr on the Win, or I might go with the Amy Jo taper burr. I got to find it though. Oh, well, here's a chewed up one, but it'll look like this but it'll have teeth. I don't know where it is. I got to find it. So I'm going to try the Extreme. This is the Cutsaw Extreme Taper Burr, 1/4 inch. I'm going to try it on my resurrected. You know, I don't know if I say it. I've always called it a Goaxi, but it looks more like it's a Goxawee. Goxawee? I don't know. I'm going with Goaxi. So we're going with this, and let's see if it works. If this thing resurrected or not. Alright, so I roughed that out. He's a little fat little owl, but, you know, it's winter time. So he's been hitting the owl donuts and hitting the owl cereal, and I don't know. He's living it up. He's living his best life. So we're going to now use the tile cutter, which is this burr, to put in some of the feather work and the detail around the eyes, and then I'm going to switch over to the eye cutter, which you've seen, and I will decorate them and put eyes in. Alright, I'm going to try the dovetail burr with the Goaxi to do the rest of this. I burned in this with the eye cutter, and then I used a larger eye cutter, the Mampa eye cutters, to put the eyes in. And now what I'll do is I'll put feathering in here. And I'll probably burn, because this is kind of delicate work. I don't know if I'll use this here. I'll probably burn it instead. So, I don't know. You guys, if you've watched enough of my stories, you know I like this dovetail bit. And that's right, they're stories. So, for you young folks that don't know, in the 70s and 80s, we'd watch them soap operas. If you grew up kind of in a redneck house, it was, don't bother mama, she's watching their stories. So we ain't calling these videos no more. They're stories. So I expect y'all start using that and bring it back. I forgot to mention something. I just put these feathers in here. And I'm using, this is the eye, you know, the Mampa eye cutter, and you basically stab upward to make these half semicircles. If you want it to burn it, because this will save me a bunch of time, I won't have to go back and wood burn it, you have to go up all the way to high speed on this thing. Go all the way up to 30. If you put it at like 15 or 20 RPMs, it'll cut it, but it doesn't burn it in. So you really have to go all out on this thing to get it to burn while you cut. So that's going to save me a lot of time. I'm trying to find bits that burn and cut at the same time. Jordy did tell me about one. It was like a Dremel. It was this guy. I think it's called a Dremel 125. Little pointy comb. But I think mine's too new, because when I cut, it just cuts. It doesn't burn. I probably have to dull it. Or maybe I'm not getting it going to fast enough speed. I don't know, Jordy, if you're watching this, advice. I can't get this thing. When I watch you do it, it just leaves black marks, but when I do it, it does not. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Alright, so I burnt this a little more than I expected to. I had to do a lot of wood burning in there to get everything to look right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ball here, which is kind of made of like Scotch-Rite pads. I'll link this below. You can see what it is. And then what you do is it'll give it it'll knock the dust off it. You put it in a drill. But it gives it a really cool look. It's a Shujiban. So, this isn't helping because it's so dusty. I thought I would show you, but I guess it's not. Anyway, I'll have to do that, and then I'll get back to you. I'm not sure if I'm going to stain it or not. I'm thinking about going all in and just raising the price on this and making it really fancy. So here's kind of what I'm going with, I think. I still haven't decided about this and this not matching. But is it a big enough deal? Do people care? I don't know. I don't know what to do. So you can see I did the Shushujiban, and you can see how it like brings the grain out. It's real pretty. I don't know what to do here. I don't know. Alright, so I finished the backside, put my initials in. And you see how deep that is? So that should hold on, although I would still tell people probably to screw this to the wall mounted if you're going to be pulling bottle caps on it. Other than that, so there we go. I decided to go ahead and just keep it the way it was. This slides on these, oh, I don't know if I can see them, but there. This all slides up. Hang it up. And that way, when this is full of caps, you can just take it off. It's ready to go. And I think it came out pretty cool, right? I've never seen anything like it. So let's see if we can sell this thing. I probably, for the amount of work and how heavy it is, it's probably $65. I would say I probably got, I think it's like $12 to buy this. And the board's probably another $8 or $9. So I got at least 20 something in. And it took me like an hour. More than an hour. So yeah, 65. Maybe 70. Alright. That's actually a pretty small profit margin, so maybe not worth it. I need to figure out how to speed it up or charge more. Alrighty. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me put everything together and I'll give you my parting words. Alright, so those are 3 owls. Probably took me, you know, combined time maybe 3 hours. Because this guy was relatively fast. This is medium, and then this took forever. So, I think, I don't know, dudes dig owls, ladies like owls, so they're probably buying something for their men. And again, this is for the sad beige moms, so they probably like that. But this can go either way. I think that could be a man or a woman. And this is definitely like more of a man cave thing, I would think. Let's see if these sell. I hope you guys liked it. I'm going to keep playing with these ideas, but there's my Valentine's Day collection. So I think these will sell well at the Valentine's Day Festival. And there's my entry, Aiden. I've got 3 different things. I'll just take one picture of them, I guess, and send it to you. But I think they're original. I think they're fun. And there's, you know, owls are romantic. They come by at the middle of the night when you're sleeping and try to woo you with their sounds. So I'd give that a big romance. It's like being outside a lady's window, but I don't know when that stopped being romantic and crossed over to inappropriate, but I don't know. I'm still old school. I'd still like it, I think. Depends how crazy she was. I don't know. All right. I will see you guys next round. Bye.